This is KBNO 90.7 H-2 Mav Radio. Omaha's only true college radio station, something like that.
We'll say that.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the Tier 3 podcast, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. I'm Eric Anderson.
I'm Jim Mediri.
I'm Alex Kuklinski.
Jake Partouche.
And this is a show where Eric's taking over.
Oh, my.
About time.
I'm leaving. 2 shows, I'm done.
And done. Just lost all the viewers.
2 shows, I'm done.
Oh, gosh.
Look at that. We got good audio.
That's good.
Eric just loves listening to himself.
Check out this new poster up on the live stream. Go to livestream.com/UNO Mav Radio, and you can see the
Can
redesign.
you just post it on there?
I can put it somewhere.
Can you post it to
Have
the...
Carlos give us a better website. But we've got a brand new poster redesigned. Hopefully it's somewhat decent. It's better than the last one. And hopefully we'll have like some sort of intro music soon, and some sort of graphic. Just instead of like a still of the poster, we can have something like revolving or moving with a moving background.
And make those gears moving.
And Jay needs to just do like this, and then I'll loop it over and
Just
over
a GIF.
again. Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I would use that GIF frequently.
So actually, the original title of the show was the show where we don't know if we can say that. And there's, I guess, let's just touch on this lightly. Susan G. Komen was offered a generous donation of
Who
money.
is Susan G. Komen?
Race for the Cure.
Race for the Cure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, just for our listeners.
Is it breast cancer that they're trying to?
Yeah, so let's just say
Well, actually,
an adult video site
Yes.
online.
has started taking donations.
Yeah,
Or
is
giving donations.
Yeah, is donating 1 cent for every 30 views on 2K.
There.
So this adult video site. This
Great start.
this. I just read the news, people. Okay, so this adult video site is donating a penny for every 30 views on 2 specific adult video categories. I just saw it somewhere. I didn't actually find that. And
They're donating.
And as I was reading it, I found that the website was going to the Susan G. Komen for the Cure Foundation, which does Race for the Cure, which is actually just held in Omaha this weekend, which they rejected their donation. And the website is currently looking for a recipient for their donation, which is said to be significant.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And
I mean, I imagine they got quite a bit of donation money once.
I actually did the math. I went there just to
Okay.
check the number.
Just
to
all
check.
right.
While I was
It's all right.
there.
It's all right.
I just went there to do math. Okay.
Pure research.
So
I went to an adult website
to
do
do math
math.
with a calculator.
Okay.
Anyway,
Whatever you say.
I think if I did my math correctly, they raised over $22,000 so far.
Ah, that's
So
not too
that's
bad.
pretty impressive. I think they had like 2 million views or something like that.
Not sure.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
He was 10 of them.
It was 9.
It was only 9.
No, I didn't do anything. I just did math.
What does that compare to like them normally?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know the ins and outs of
Okay.
adult sites.
I thought maybe you'd know. Someone knew.
Okay.
Intro music.
That's our newbie audio guy.
Yeah, that's the newbie audio guy, the host of the show.
You know how many controls? We'll get all the wires.
Anyway-
You're asking me to plug stuff in. No, I got it.
Anyway, that's my cool story of the week.
Okay. I was on the site and I found this video, and then I found out they were donating money.
Yep.
That's good.
So, do you want to talk about the next one, or do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, we'll go into the next one. I'm prepping a video for it here. I think.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go ahead and just dive into it.
Yep, go ahead.
So I was watching the 404 podcast.
CNET.com.
Yep. CNET's
Awesome.
podcast. Anyway, their one today talked about how Entertainment Weekly has published 1,000 magazines that include an LCD screen that shows looping video as well as live tweets inside of a magazine, and they actually
At CW Network. Is that what that's the?
Yeah, CW is doing an ad for their fall programming, and so super slow. It's not very fast, but it does show a video, and then it connects to the internet via a T-Mobile SIM card. And I don't know if it was Mashable or Boing Boing or something, but they actually tore it apart, and it's an Android phone. You can actually make calls on it.
That is awesome.
So everybody who's got that magazine. Can
Yeah,
make
so everyone go out and
phone.
buy Entertainment Weekly if you live in New York or Los Angeles.
I don't think we can actually say
You
that.
can
I
have
don't
a-
think we can do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
you-
don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Just if you have one, you know you can make
It
a
would,
call on
he's
it.
saying that it would be a good idea because you get a free crappy cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the point.
Yeah, but like
It's
it-
not.
yeah,
It's not a
you can.
promo. It's
Okay.
not a
It's
no
not a
promo.
promo.
Not a promo.
If you want a free crappy cell phone, look at this magazine.
Who even reads Entertainment Weekly?
yeah, the video's up on it now. But it's the CW network, like a advertisement in their page, and I guess it's playing right now. It's playing an advertisement for the CW. It's just really cool. I don't think anything like this has been tried before or done before.
No, I don't think so. Seems
How
pretty
long does
interesting.
that battery last?
Yeah, and how heavy is it?
I have a lot of questions about
And
this.
is it pretty
Interesting.
flexible? I mean, can you
Yeah.
roll it up in your pocket?
Oh.
They talked about it. It's actually flat.
Because a lot of these new screens, or the stuff that they're working on coming out, like they're
They
talking about
can be,
TVs that you
yeah.
can unroll onto your wall or stuff like that,
Yeah.
or the flexible LED screens. This is like a perfect application.
They've
for
already
those.
been there've already been free phones which you can basically twist around. It's like all with the screen twisting with the phone. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if they can do it here.
Yeah.
I think that's a few years down the road.
Okay, that's kind of true.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought it was really cool.
And the next thing is a valet phone service. What's that?
Okay, well, this just caught my eye on Gizmodo. I believe it's schools. I can't talk and do all this screen adjusting at once.
Let's talk first then.
You're an audio video guy.
But it's a valet service for phones, and I guess in New York City, a lot of phones, tablets, iPads, electronic
Makes
devices,
sense.
personal devices are banned in schools. And so before school, there will be literally what's shown in this picture is a van with electronic device storage
It's a van.
printed on the side.
Does it say free candy too?
Yeah, free candy. Come into my van. But you basically, the kids can check in their mobile devices before school and then get them
Pick
back
them up
after
later.
school.
That's seriously the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
I think you could just steal that van and probably make a couple of $1,000 or $10,000.
Yeah.
It's
I
fraud
would
waiting to
love-
happen.
yeah,
Is it really
this
that
guy
much
just
of a big
drives off
deal
with the
to
van.
have cell phones inside of a school?
That's kind of There should just be like have some blockers or something so you can't get.
Yeah,
texts or
I know
something.
some schools
And
put
that's-
cell blockers in there.
And that's pretty cheap now too. Like you can actually get them for
This-
some value.
This just doesn't seem. I mean, not only is it stupid, it
But you're
doesn't
paying
seem
money for the
practical.
service.
It doesn't seem practical.
If you're paying money for
Especially in New
yeah,
York.
why are you paying money for a service that basically might steal every kid's phone, and then you would have the parents coming to you being like, you should give.
Well,
them
it's
new
not.
phones.
It's not just that. I mean, I don't think you're gonna. Why would you steal a cell phone? Because I mean, there's all that. They can be traced so easily.
But you could basically strip it down for parts, and then. But if you have enough, you could probably go and just sell it in bulk to some guy who will actually strip it down for you. You know, it's not that difficult to do stuff like that. And my real question is, if you've got like kids who need to have cell phones so that parents can contact them after school's out, why don't you just have like the phones deposited somewhere in the school building? Why do you have them in a van outside the school?
Yeah.
Which is honestly like, really, a van?
Well, and Gizmodo, I didn't actually see this part of the article. It's not 100% safe. A phone valet truck actually got robbed before, so
Well,
it's
yeah, you're
it's
making
happened.
a target for 'em.
Yeah. I guess
Phone
it's
valet.
phone valet. That's
Does it say where it's happening?
New York.
New York.
Right now, yeah.
Which they can't bring anything into the school because they have metal detectors.
Metal detectors. Yeah.
They're also
Oh, that's why.
well, but what
Okay, but
phones
whenever you
do-
go into the airport, it's okay. You
take
they
phones.
look, but then you
Yeah.
just take everything out of your pockets.
and you put in little trays or put them in your bag and just scan the bag through. And I'm pretty sure most students will be carrying a bag.
Yeah, of
And
course.
so you put your phone in your bag and scan it through.
Well, it's like saying I can't bring my headphones in because there's metal in my headphones.
That's just kind of
It's
disappointing. With
ridiculous.
their creativity is kind of disappointing right there.
Yep. Well,
What about the next thing?
it says YouTube is easing up on infringement takedowns.
This
Eric will be really happy about that.
I put this in the rundown because you wouldn't believe how many of our little podcasts
Were taken down.
No, well, not necessarily. We had like one taken down, but pretty much every single podcast we publish here gets pegged for some sort of copyright
Yeah.
infringement. That's
Because we
or
talk about technology.
It may be. I get an email to the podcast email, and it goes, "Oh, your podcast number, da 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 da, may be infringing upon the rights of," and it's usually some sort of TV network.
Yeah.
How so?
That's what I wonder.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. It's
Could be
like-
because of like
TV
music
network?
or whatever you show on.
No, but we don't have
It
music.
could be. A
Music
lot of
on
it is when I play videos. If there's
Oh.
sound in the video, which most of the time anyway, I mute the computer, and so there's no sound.
Yeah.
Like it's us talking over the video.
Yeah, so how is that? Okay, so our talking infringes rights? That's
No,
interesting.
because I have this for my YouTube pages.
I know what
the
you-
way the way it works is all the TV networks and whatever, they can have, like, let's just say who's Family Guy, Fox,
Yeah.
right? So Fox can upload like every Family Guy episode and not publish it on YouTube, but just keep it there. So whenever people start uploading like videos of Family Guy, it matches that and it takes it down.
Right.
But the big problem is, like, with a lot of my videos that are how-tos, I used to use like generic Windows or Mac backgrounds, and what happened was YouTube recognizes the backgrounds on different videos, and then they start taking other people's videos down, even though they don't even match my video. And granted, I get a lot of videos that, you know, people copy my stuff all the time, but most of the, you know, sometimes it's just really
So
Mad.
it's more like their automated technology to find.
that's-
It's
infringement
exactly
is
it,
pretty
because
bad.
they have, and they talked about it here, how it improves the matching quality and the smarter detection. So instead of it being like based on a background, they can, you know, change it up.
They can probably. It's probably a good idea to kind of, you know, improve your improve the way you detect these things over time, because I think a lot of these videos start becoming more similar as you start getting more videos, because the more you start building up the number of videos that are on YouTube, you're probably going to get a lot more of these infringement issues between just the simplest things.
Yeah, and a lot of it too. I mean, this isn't just on YouTube. This is everywhere.
Right.
That's
I mean,
believable.
Microsoft put out a whole bunch of DCMA notices for the number 45
Ah.
a couple of weeks ago.
And
Interesting.
well, they also put a new appeals process in here too, because prior to this whole revamp, there was like certain content requests, or like when they pin you for certain content infringement, like you couldn't even, I guess, fight, like put up
Oh,
a
yeah,
appeal.
appeal.
You
And-
could.
But
The
it's
way it works is people can like appeal it, but okay, so let's just say your video gets pinged against mine. Well, you can actually appeal. Well, not really. I don't know if it's an appeal process, but you can say, hey, blah blah. Here's my excuse. But if you do that wrongly, I could technically sue you. So it was really scary because all the legal terminology. But I think right now they're going to make it easier. But you can appeal, or you could appeal before this came out.
Okay, because it says now they're redoing the appeals process. It gives eligible users a new choice when dealing with a rejected dispute. When a user files an appeal, the content owner has two options: release the claim or file a DMCA notification.
Yep, that's how it works with me too. So if I get people that repeatedly copy my stuff, usually I just like monetize it so that way their video won't get taken down if they copy me. But you know, a lot of times I just release the claims because A, they're not copying me, or, you know, most times they're pretty nice. People are really nice about it, as long as you contact them.
Check out. Did you see the little signature or the bit about who wrote the article? It's just signed by the guy's name, and I can't read that. Thea Bit Afshwai, rights management product producer. That's his title, and then it just randomly says recently watched Dance to Psy Gangnam Style. Evidently, that's in the end of his name at an official YouTube release article. That video has made it absolutely everywhere now.
It's a good song, actually.
Anyway, yeah.
Well,
I don't even know what it says, but yeah, good song.
It's not the same without the video, though.
Not the same
you
without the
watch the
video. You have to
video.
watch the video.
They play it on the radio and everything. It's crazy, but I heard that YouTube is putting more of the burden now on the content owners rather than they themselves going in and finding that. And
I think that'll help a lot. It'll be interesting to see if our videos still keep getting. Way back when we had one that was just like, nope, it's gone.
Have you appealed that process?
I've never tried. Like the only thing, unless it's taken down, and like I said, we only had one that it was taken down for, but otherwise it's just emails that say, hey, this isn't going to hurt you or affect your video. It's still up, it's playing, but it may be infringing on whoever's. And I assume they send that owner or someone like a notice that.
Well, so Content ID and YouTube, even though they're together, they're totally separate things. So when you log into Content ID, I wish I had a visual for this, but you have a whole bunch of options. Like you have your content, and then you have matches. And if you click on matches, it'll show your videos, and then people's who have been close to you. Now, just because it says it maybe doesn't mean that it shows up in their database, because ultimately, if they have it so the copied material gets automatically taken down or whatever, you can actually go back and change it.
So
or if you find a video that infringes on it, you just file a report and whatever.
Yeah, so he's playing a video on about Content ID right now. So
yeah,
is that what it is? Yeah.
And I back in the day, I uploaded a video about Coldplay's concert dates, and I had audio swap, I think is YouTube's feature, where it's like pre-approved music that you put in your videos. Yep. So I had YouTube audio swap and then just text of dates that went in the list, and then it got taken down by EMI for copyright infringement on a Coldplay song. I was like, that's not even playing. No, and I was like, you can't do it for the audio because it's YouTube approved. You know, and so I let it go for like 2 years, and then last year I actually decided, I'm just gonna go against it, and for lack of a better word, and
I'm gonna sue them.
I actually just filed a reversal thing for it. I was like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong, and I actually had a representative from EMI email me about 30 minutes after I sent that.
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, hey, when did you upload the video? I was like, 2 years ago.
You can hear it. He's like, hey, when did you upload that video?
And then, they reversed it, and I got my copyright claim. So now I have no copyright claims.
That's cool.
But yeah, sometimes it's really hard to, and I know we're kind of going over on this one, but it's really hard to avoid it. Like with my YouTube page, I kind of have a strict thing where I don't do music unless it's like Creative Commons. I don't do music.
I mean, it's scary if you go outside of that and try and do anything else.
I don't want to get screwed by stupid things. Yeah. And sometimes most of the YouTube takedowns, I bet, are mistakes. Or probably not most, but a good percentage of them are mistakes.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll get a bit better with this. I think a lot of it's also, obviously YouTube and their automated system, but then it's the kind of, I guess, the middleman of the music, the content, like EMI and businesses like that, who have to have control over everything. I think if it was just bands, I don't know, you think they'd have a problem with it? Much?
It's not a lot of bands have actually come out. I forgot who it was. There's some bands that have actually come out and said, "Hey, that's fine," but in their contract with the record company, they can't do that. Yeah. So you might have the blessing of the band, but the record company will come down on you for whatever. But
that makes sense. Probably bands are not as bad, but the bands have to also go
with their contract.
Yeah, we'll have to go.
They
with
have
the
to honor. Yeah,
contractors.
exactly.
They have to basically honor the people, their wishes as well, because they're the ones who's paying them all the money for the contracts.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm pretty sure even bands don't want to get stuck up in a position where they have a bad rep with one guy and then
Yeah.
And I mean, they're busy all the time too. I mean, they're touring, writing music, and whatever. So.
No, because this is like interesting for upcoming people. Like, would they actually like upcoming bands like we just talked about Gangnam Style and how somebody like licensed that and then they said that okay, if we do license this, then this cannot anymore be used by other people or like something like that. So it'd be interesting about upcoming people.
Well, a lot of upcoming. Well, okay, that brings up a whole other topic that I won't dive into.
Let's
but when I became a YouTube partner back in 09, 08, something like that. In the agreement, it specifically says you cannot monetize videos that are covers of songs or whatever because the actual lyrics and the song stuff is copyrighted. So, I mean, it's just like, copying an essay.
So if you want to you make your own song and monetize it.
Yeah, which honestly, I'm confused by half of it. That's why I don't even mess with it. I just avoid it altogether because why deal with it?
That's a good idea, yeah.
But,
I think that's why we should avoid getting it today.
Well, Leo Laporte from Twit talked about this a couple months ago. He was saying how almost every single podcast he does has a DCMA takedown for fair use content.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
But that's all I'm going to say on that one. Because that could go on forever.
All right. Well, let's go into this cool Redbox article. You guys all see the Redbox all around all the time.
No, I don't. What is Redbox? Is it just a Redbox?
Yes, Eric. Everyone knows what Redbox is.
Everyone knows what Redbox is.
They send
okay.
red boxes to your house.
Do you know there's actually a blue box too?
Yeah, I know.
Redbox is going
I've been to a Target before. A Walmart or Target, they all have Redbox and blue box.
Yeah. Redbox, though, is going to start selling concert tickets
Really?
in addition to all their movie rentals
Wow.
at the kiosks. So I believe it's through, this is reported, we're getting it through the Verge, who got through the Wall Street Journal. I think it was through Ticketmaster, wasn't it? Well, it's just about got to be.
Not through Ticketmaster.
Redbox wouldn't go through Ticketmaster.
Yeah, why would Redbox go
It's a competitor of Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
I thought they were selling it through, okay.
No.
I thought I read something.
You're talking about lovey-dovey? No, there aren't.
But from what I don't see what. Yeah, it doesn't say who they're probably going through some exclusive deal.
That's awesome because then it'd be better just to get them from Redbox because they're only charging you $1 for a service charge to get it, whereas Ticketmaster is going to empty out everything you've got in your wallet.
Yeah.
Well, these would be tickets that are not well known. It wouldn't be like a
probably smaller concerts.
Gangnam Style concert.
Well, that wouldn't be that bad.
No, it wouldn't be like a huge concert that would normally sell out. It would be something lesser known with maybe the seats wouldn't ordinarily sell.
Maybe this says musicals or something.
The article says that company's reputation for providing impulse purchases will help tickets that wouldn't ordinarily sell, like nosebleed seats for less popular concerts.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Hey, I mean, if it helps you save money, I mean, most of those arenas you can't really get a bad seat unless you're actually behind the stage. I mean, you look at the Clink. I mean, I was at Lady Gaga, not for me, but I was at a Lady Gaga concert, and we were in the stage is here. We were like all the way up here, but you could still see everything. Yeah. I mean, it was fine.
Well, then I'm also guessing people want to get tickets to go somewhere on Friday night if they've not planned beforehand or something. Then this is like a good way. Just go. Oh, I'm going to go get tickets to this unknown band just to see how they are, and at least spend my time outside. Which turns out pretty good usually, I guess. At least should.
Yeah. I mean, they're selling right now. It's only in Philadelphia.
I think.
Might be good.
There's no really.
Carrie Underwood show.
Yeah, but it's a Carrie Underwood show that they're selling them for. So.
Villanova football games, Pocono Raceway.
Yeah, NASCAR races. I mean, it's.
It's good. I guess it's a good start. They can probably get something more interesting, get people to go to other stuff too. And Redbox being fairly well known might get smaller bands and stuff better tickets.
Well, I don't think they're actually doing all that well right now. I think this is kind of to try and help them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they have to expand somewhere.
Did you know Redbox is owned by Verizon?
No, I did not know that.
I did not know that.
So, at least I think they are. But
We've got some visitors.
Those are the on the fringes looking through the window at us. Okay, check out this next. Any of you guys watch Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Every once in a while.
This is what this story reminded me of. Bubble Boy attends school via robot, and it looks. If you ever seen that episode of the Big Bang Theory where Sheldon's telepresence everywhere. But I guess this is interesting. This kid, where is this? New York. This kid's like allergic to everything, apparently. So he's actually attending school.
Should wear a spacesuit in school.
This is better because he doesn't even have to be in school. He's just sending this like robot thing that's the same height as normal kids.
What? That thing's cool.
Yeah, isn't it?
Actually, it's kind of creepy because it's like the robot, and then you just see a little head.
Yeah. It's like I don't know what it is, on wheels with a screen on the top and a camera. So
the little girl is like, what is
going
on?
What is that?
It reminds me of one of those, like, I don't even know. What is that? It's like one of those little baby toy things, you know?
Telepresence robots are just starting to enter the consumer marketplace.
Wow.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
What consumer market?
Yeah, where...
Can I buy these robots and have them go to class?
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does this cost? And is it feasible to go like into the what if he just goes down and flies? I mean, it's not like you can look down or up, can you? Or is the camera? I want to see the other end of this, like where the kid's at. How is he controlling this, and how is he like looking around on it?
And also,
I just imagine him driving this off
the
South
Park guy that was playing World of Warcraft.
Oh,
I can just see people abusing this.
Yeah.
Like, the guy playing World of Warcraft, and he's just going to school and he's just eating chips.
Yeah.
The keyboard up on his. But I mean, good for him. He gets to go to school.
Interesting.
For Bubble Boy, did you ever see that story about the guy that was allergic to sunlight?
no,
Yeah,
I've heard of that story.
There's a guy out there.
There's a group of people that are actually allergic to sunlight.
Yeah.
It's really rare disease. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they actually had to change all the lights in the school, and then on the bottom they would have
Oh wow.
It's not surprising. There's all kinds of diseases out there.
The other thing is, this isn't like a contract or anything. It's streaming the video back through Wi-Fi.
Wow.
Which to me is surprising. I would think with something like that, you'd have to have. Well, all schools have Wi-Fi. It's just you're not going to get a great reception everywhere. I would think that would have like.
No, but I was wondering, what does he do? Like,
of course, it's in New York, so they probably got
doors and stuff. Does he have?
Is he going to have to put this in the van before he goes into the?
That's a good point, sir. You're gonna have to check in your virtual presence robot.
Sir, you can't go to school. You're a virtual presence robot.
Okay, did any of you guys look at this? The squeeze to tap instead of the...
I'm looking at it now.
Basically a whole new way to use your phone in case tapping is too hard for you. You gotta tap on that screen to hit those buttons. Well, now if that's too much and you just can't handle that, they've got a way where you can just squeeze your phone to make it do what you want. And I guess basically I've got a video of it here I'll queue up. But different types of squeezes are going to initiate different functions.
Can it do this with like Xbox controllers? So whenever I get really mad and just want to destroy the stupid thing, it like makes me throw an awesome pass in Madden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I needed. I don't know how many times I was broken.
Or it just or it just gives you like invincibility in like Call of Duty or something. You just go and become invincible.
Yeah.
On it.
I don't see how it's gonna take off, but.
And like how many functions? There's not a whole lot out this yet. It's a demo, is what it is right now. I don't know what phone it's running on either.
Like maybe it looks like an Android kind of thing.
Yeah, something.
But
it'd be cool like the
Android is pretty customizable.
But I mean, how hard is it to swipe?
You could probably I think it might be easier to just like silence a call. Like you're in class, you don't want to have to pull your phone out of your pocket or something like that.
Just say usually you can hit your volume button.
No, I mean like if you forgot that or if you've been through multiple things. I'm not saying I did. Happened to me a
Does
lot.
anyone remember like the good old days with iPods with the click wheel when you could be like mowing your grass and just hit the button?
Yeah, that's true.
Good old days.
Actually, didn't they have something where you could hit your phone and it would silence?
Yeah, I think they had that too.
Yeah, that's true.
You can usually shake your phone to silence it. At least I think there's an app that you can do that.
It's ringing!
Stop ringing!
It hit the window. Did it stop? Stop.
It was just interesting. I think this article, where's this from? I don't know what site this is.
Akahara News.
I've never heard of this before. But it was like
Random place on the internet.
They were going on like how you might be like
this
your hands
actually
might be tied up, and it's easier to squeeze the phone than it is. It's like you can do both one-handed, and you're gonna have the same amount of. I don't get how this is any better. I guess.
I think Akihabara is like is the tech district in Japan, near Tokyo somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Like it's one of those small little districts.
Okay.
A lot of tech stuff goes on there.
Yeah.
Between games, movies, and
like a Silicon Valley or
kind of. It's not really Silicon.
It's not really Silicon Valley. But
it's more like a thing where people give their own input on stuff, and there are developers there.
Yeah.
We're going to skip real quick over those reviews. We'll get back to those right away.
No, I wanted about the Galaxy Note 2 review.
Shut up!
Oh my gosh, Eric, stop!
All right, almighty Eric.
No, we've got some more like news first before we get into actual reviews. And this
why isn't the news above the reviews?
This is real. I don't know, because it got messed up at some point.
Why?
I just put them in there, and whatever.
You put the reviews in there?
I did.
That's why everything.
Way to mess everything up.
Well, there's no guidelines.
Did we fix the links after that? Okay. Anyway,
you have to.
There's ransomware. Have any of you guys heard of this before?
I've never heard of ransomware.
I've never heard of ransomware before. It's basically a new type of malware. And I don't know if it's technically called ransomware. This comes from CNET, and they call it ransomware. I don't know if that's technically an official term, but it sounds cool. and it's pretty scary. But basically, what it's doing is thieves who are stealing all your digital information have found a way to streamline their processes and make this faster, and make your information hit the black market at incredible speeds. It's really interesting, and it's happening through Skype
IM
right now. Skype IM. Basically, if you hit a Skype IM and it'll make you think it's from one of your friends or whatever. Basically, it'll execute this executable file, which will go in. It'll unleash. It says installs a variant of the Dorkbot worm. No idea what that is. And creates a backdoor via black hole. It creates a backdoor via black hole.
Backdoor via
what is
black
more
hole?
scarier than that?
It sounded like you said black door via back hole.
Anyway, before we go down that road,
well,
it allows a remote attacker to take control of your computer, install their malicious application. It locks you out of the computer. Basically via a password or encryption, and then it demands payment or ransom or something like that in exchange for all your content back. Let's see, this particular strain demands a payment of $200 within 48 hours, or it may delete all your files. How about that?
So
turn off your computer, move your hard drive.
Yeah,
put in a different computer.
I mean,
you can pull the plug.
Okay, that's fine. You do that, but it says, according to this, it's already installed. Like, actually installed.
No. What you do is you pull out the network plug, and then you just take it to a tech expert, and the guy will basically be like, I'm going to clear this out or something.
For $200.
Yeah, for $200. That'd be awesome.
No, I'm saying the people should be able to be that smart. They can just unplug the network cable, and the guy won't be able to control it anymore, even if he gets it installed.
After working at a local electronics retailer. I've realized that a lot of people turn in their computers for very stupid things. So you can't expect everyone to know everything.
Yeah. This is interesting.
They probably pay it.
Especially
I'll give you all my money, just don't take my
especially
stuff.
like business people, like people who are like using their computers to start up their own business. They'd be like, oh, just $200 is okay for all the data I have on there.
Well, that's business. That's the company's money. So they're going to be fine with that.
Not the company's money, not people sitting in office. I'm like, think about people in like those shops. like cafes or something with the computers to basically keep all their stuff.
If you're sitting in a shop, in a coffee shop, working on all your business stuff, I think you deserve to have it stolen.
Well, if you're that bad, yeah. If you're Skyping on there, yep, sure are.
False. Mobile hotspot.
Okay, yeah, there you go. But if you're using their Wi-Fi, that's where everything happens anyway. That's where
I kind of meant that the people running the shop have their own computer. What if their computer gets compromised?
This says it'll give you a screen that claims your computer has been downloading illegal MP3s, visiting adult websites, maybe donating a little money, gambling, illegal drugs, and then it threatens to send that information to a special department of the U.S. government via a program called System Cleaner.
I swear, if my grandpa ever gets this on his computer, he's gonna freak out.
Yeah.
And then I'm never gonna hear the end of it.
It's just pretty crazy.
Does your grandpa use Skype though?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, that'd be
He doesn't know how to log out of it.
Be very afraid.
Yeah, just be wary of any new Skype items you get.
Well, this is also a matter of probably targeted at an audience that isn't as tech savvy, because if your machine's not up to date, then they're not going to get the security updates.
Plus, most people who've already taken some computer science course will be like, "I'm going to pull my plug."
Well, and it's to start it off, it's like it's one of those messages. Like, you just know that if I click on this, something bad is going to happen. You ever get those? It's like, I think I sent out a bunch of messages to Facebook people doing that once. But it says, hey, like, is this your new profile pic? And it's got a link to a picture.
That you get from a random person you never talked to.
Yeah, exactly. And if you click on it, that's when everything goes down.
It's like, why would you click on a link which says, is that your new profile pic? You should know your own profile pic.
And it's from a cute girl on Facebook.
Oh my god. What if it's not an actual girl? Like,
Cyber girl?
Yeah. Somebody just pretended.
The iRobot told me to.
Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. Like, I started out reading this article. That's fine. Oh, well.
Well, let's go to the next one then, I guess.
Yeah, one more here. This is the one where it lets you die, because this is just, that previous one was just sending, deleting all your stuff. This one is selling it on the black market. This is what I was talking about earlier.
You combined the two and made it in one huge monstrous thing.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
We talked about this last week.
This one?
No, this is different.
Where they basically streamline the...
No, we were talking about Twitter last week, how people stole Twitter attacks.
Oh, yeah, but it's basically the same concept, though.
Mostly, but you have a lot of data being sold in the black market. Like, if you can... Yeah. There was a pretty good article from an FBI head for, like, cyber, in the cyber department from Baltimore, and he basically was talking about how he pretended to befriend these two people who were criminals, made them believe that he was also a fellow criminal, and got into their forum where they were selling credit card details. So he actually can prove that they do this kind of stuff, and it's pretty obvious. So a lot of people would think it doesn't happen. It does.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Universal or Man in the Browser? MITB? No. It's basically when you go to a website, you type all your information into a form. Turns out that form's not real. It's just made to look like the form and then it sends your information to somewhere bad.
If you type in Facebook, but you spell it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah,
it's called phishing.
Dredge Report's notorious for that. If you type, well, I mean, that's not really a Man in Browser, because it's just taking you to a different website. This is actually where you type in your information, like your credit card numbers, all that stuff, into a form. And then you send that information.
That's still something like phishing, is what the...
That is a Man in the Browser attack. The new thing is what's called a universal Man in the Browser attack. Basically, this eliminates lag time. Let's see how this works.
That's apparently a problem.
This collects the data in real time, making stolen credit card numbers basically much more valuable on the black market, because they go like
directly
stale
from
quickly. And like if it's gonna take you a while to realize that something's happened to your credit card by the time charges are applied and stuff. So this basically speeds up the time at which thieves can steal all your information and then use that information to their advantage, because by the time it's gone from your browser, it's actually being sold on the black market by whoever collected their data, so they're making money on that, and then whoever bought that off the black market is using that information
Much
to
faster than
charge,
before,
buy stuff with your money.
That was another thing that.
And this is speeding that up so that they can do that faster before you actually catch it.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It is
But I
very
mean,
crazy.
you can always get your credit card. I mean, usually if you're spending a ton of money, I mean, like if I go to Denver first, or like the bank here, I gotta.
They go to
I have to. The bank here, they were like, hey, you bought like $200 worth of stuff in Denver, where you put a hold on your account.
Right.
So I mean, if people are starting to buy, like, if an American all of a sudden spends like $300 in India.
I actually did that, and they actually told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually closed my account because I hadn't notified them I was going to India for summer.
Yeah,
and,
so you have to tell them.
That's what I've been telling them from now on. Like, I didn't know it existed. Now this actually made me happy that they were smart enough to do that. And well, it makes sense, you know.
And and it's interesting. That's really the only way to combat that is banks are able to detect abnormal payments, even if they're little. I had my debit card stolen this past summer. Actually, there was a bunch of charges. There was like $500 worth of charges down in Texas.
Oh.
Had not been to Texas. Didn't know what happened, but my bank was able to put a hold on it. Well, unfortunately, with a debit card, it's not like a credit card where it's charged. Debit card, it's actually gone. That money is gone from my account. But my bank, it's awesome. They're getting better at this. They actually take a loss on that, and they reimburse my money. So I get all that back, and the bank takes a loss on that. But I think it's an incentive. This kind of stuff is an incentive for banks to become better at catching that stuff so they don't have to take large losses like that.
It makes a lot of sense now that banks are getting more into it. Now there's even actually full-blown companies like LifeLock or something.
Yeah, LifeLock's a big one.
They do a pretty good job.
It was interesting when mine got stolen. The first phone number or the first call I got, I was actually driving when I got the call, was not from my bank. It was from a security company. They were like, "Hey, are you Eric Granson?" And I was waiting for one of those like phony calls where they were going to ask for my card number, and I was going to be like, I don't think so. But then they never asked for my card number, and I was like, they told me, call your bank and verify everything. And I was like, hey, yep, and it actually happened. So it's kind of cool that stuff, they can catch that.
It's not just that, like, okay, look at Google. Like, the biggest thing is I went to San Francisco over last weekend, then I was actually trying to log into this app, which is like maps and all that, like something. And then Google basically said that you have had, like when I logged in to actually view email, they were like, you've had this thing being used from somewhere else.
You're good.
So what do you do? Okay. Anyway, so they said your account has been accessed from somewhere else, and that was like San Bruno, which is where I was staying at the time. And they were like, is this a legal thing or not? And you have to go through a whole bunch of steps to actually verify that it's you or not. So it can just be somebody who just hacks your account can get it.
If you're logging into your bank's website from a different IP address, typically they ask for your security
keys again, like your security questions all over again.
And then they ask if you want to remember this computer because you're using different.
I never remember the computers. That's actually honestly, if you can't remember your security questions and your password on your bank's website, you shouldn't access it from somewhere else.
Well,
you shouldn't save the computer, honestly, most of the time.
Well, I mean, with First National here, whenever you log in, you can't save your password. You just save your user ID.
Yeah.
So, and usually, I mean, it's a random time. I mean, like sometimes they'll ask you for your security questions. Sometimes they'll just go right to the password. But I mean, there is that option.
No, but I'm saying the entire point is like some banks do allow you. No, it's your browser that allows you to save your password and ID. And you should always say no to the browser because some banks have that built-in functionality in their websites which doesn't let them do it. Like, which doesn't let the browsers do it, but you don't want to let your browser save your password for your bank's website.
Yeah.
You just don't want to do it. That's totally bad practice.
I always thought it was weird that, like, I entered in my credit card number, in a form using Chrome, and then Chrome's like, hey, do you want to save your credit card number?
No. Why would I want to save that?
No.
I've only ever saved my phone number, and I've now removed that because I think it was giving my real phone number to the most random.
It's funny because I always hear stories of parents who have saved their phone or their credit card number to like an iPad, and then the kid will be playing games and they'll just buy all the stuff, and the parents will be like, where is all this money being charged from? And the kid's buying all the extras for the game.
Apple actually got sued about that.
Yeah, they did. Let's go into some of these reviews, I guess, that Jake threw into the rundown of the Samsung Galaxy Note 2.
Whatever.
Oh, all right.
What do you mean, whatever?
Well, you're acting
kept
like it's a
delaying
big
it.
chore.
Yeah.
Hey, we gotta get to the news.
Either Engadget or The Verge said it is the best Android device out there right now.
Galaxy Note 2?
That's what The Verge said. I'll talk about it a little bit. The Verge is considering it a tablet now. It's 5.5 inches.
Yeah, it's pretty
So the improvements are a quad-core processor, 2 gigs of memory, 64 gig hard drive with SD card slot expandable up to 64, so you can have 128 hard drive space. Then the battery is, I guess, amazing. This guy that reviewed it on The Verge said that he used it for consecutive, like 30 consecutive hours, like
Jeez.
normal use, like videos, syncing, everything, and he had 68% battery left.
That's
after
really
30
good.
hours?
After 30 hours, he had
Ooh,
68.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy indeed.
That's crazy.
So the battery life is just amazing. They improved the pen, the
Stylus?
See it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Stylus. The pen with a brain is what they call it. And I guess the knocks on it are that the screen the resolution was actually reduced a little bit because they changed the aspect ratio. It's a 720 display, so it's not
1080. Yeah.
right. It's not.
That's obviously
It's not
the
1080,
case.
and it's not a Retina. It's
Good
not
call.
Retina quality
Good call.
display,
Okay.
and it is pretty big to be a phone. But everything else
Yeah, that's the only
It's
problem.
pretty
with it.
solid as far
That's my problem. I've got a problem with these in between things.
Yeah,
you guys
it's
know
always
that.
like,
though. I'm
where
not going
is
to go
this
into
or
that
where is-
again.
But its hardware
yes.
specs are pretty amazing in comparison to other phones on the market.
Can you make calls on it?
Yes.
So then, why not just call it a phone?
The back when I went to CES, it was right before the Note 1 came out, the original Note. I thought it was pretty sweet, just because you could take notes on it fairly easily, and the fact that it's
Hence
a
the name.
phone and a tablet and all in the same thing.
This actually, this looks like the main competitor to like a BlackBerry is what I feel like. This should put them out of business.
No,
Because
I
isn't
mean-
BlackBerry, that's kind of like in terms of like a business phone. This seems like it should be more of a business phone, the way it's got like a pin.
No,
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay.
Well, I understand where you're coming from,
Yeah.
but BlackBerry has the ecosystem in businesses. And,
Okay.
I think the Galaxy Note is trying to get towards the average customer. They're saying, like, the guy that did the same review for the Galaxy Note 1 was saying he thinks it's kind of a gimmicky thing. This is a weird aspect. This is a weird size, and people aren't going to buy it. But then 10 million were sold. So
What's the price difference between this and like the S3 or what?
I think it.
They're roughly the same, aren't they?
It hasn't been released yet, so I think they were the same on contract.
So, but then what is the difference between like except the screen size, a couple of beefed up battery, the amazingly beefed up battery, and compared to that, why would people buy the S3 instead of this, or why would people buy this instead of the S3?
Well, basically, he compared them. He said they're very similar. They're very similar in form factor, like the way they look, the way they feel. Obviously, the size and the pen,
And
stylus are the main differences.
The Verge, I think, when they compared it, when they were seeing the competitors to the iPhone 5, they had the Galaxy Note 2 up there, and I was like, it seemed, the size seems more like a phone than it does a tablet, and honestly, because you've seen a lot bigger tablets.
Right, but then you have smaller tablets coming.
Yeah, so but 7-inch tablets, they're still like
Right, you're not going to hold it
bigger.
up to your face.
Well,
Yeah.
it was just when the Dell Streak came out. The Dell Streak was like a 5-6 inch tablet.
Yeah.
And when you held it up to your phone, you literally look like an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right there.
It's like when people take pictures with the iPad.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, it drives me
Stop.
crazy.
I'm like, yeah, it's like you hold
Worst
it
part
up.
is when they take it like this, and they
Yeah.
don't take it like
Yeah.
this. I was like, no.
Now I'm seeing, this is going off topic real quick, now I'm seeing those videos, those vertical videos on Facebook.
Oh,
Stop.
Worst.
Use the phone in landscape taking a video. Jeez.
And if you start in portrait, then just completely start over because you can't fix it once you start.
Kidding. Yeah, they're trying to. Should we? I think these guys want to get in and get something quick. Should we take a quick break and then start up again? We gotta. If that's all right with you guys, if you feel like going a little long today.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
that's fine.
we only really have like one story or two.
We've got a couple reviews. We can take a break. We will be back here in about 10 minutes on Mab Radio.
I only got a midterm tomorrow, so
okay, redo. Okay, here we go. I'm ready now.
And we're late cutscene, and we're back from the break, everybody.
All right, welcome back. Let's get the show on the road. So, the Verge, LG Nexus Phone, leaked image. So, a lot of people have been speculating on when the next Nexus Phone is going to come out. A lot of people have been pretty much thinking Samsung's going to do it, HTC, all the other Android manufacturers. But there's been a pretty steady stream.
Isn't it LG's
Pretty much.
Pretty much, or Motorola. I mean, honestly, the big two has been either LG or Motorola are going to make the next Nexus Phone. But a lot of leaked images have been coming out saying, have been coming out in favor of the LG, or an LG Nexus Phone. So, I believe...
Or maybe it's just another thing to improve LG's popularity for the next phone, maybe.
LG doesn't have any Android popularity.
I know, but that's what the idea is, make it seem like it could come into the market by showing a fancy phone.
Yeah. So, I'm just trying to think
what
of
do we got for, like, specs?
It says here... Well, this is the thing. I mean, they said that the images that are shown are really similar to the Optimus G phone, which is LG's flagship phone. So there's kind of a confusion there. They don't know if it's that or not. But the Optimus G specs, it's a 4.7-inch, 1280 by 768 display, 1.5 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro, and a 13 megapixel primary camera, which actually isn't too bad. But I'm going off here a little bit, but they were talking about if the next Nexus Phone is going to have 4.2, which is key lime pie. So 4.0 is ice cream sandwich, 4.1 is jelly bean, 4.2 would be key lime pie. So given the releases of Android, we're probably going to see key lime pie on it, but that's just my speculation. But long story short, that's pretty much that. I love key lime pie, so I will take that second. So
actually, you'll take it 4 months after when Verizon decides to release it.
Well, or I'll just get the ROM. That's what I did.
Yeah, I was tired of waiting.
Rooting is an awesome way to get the new software out there.
I mean, having a Nexus device should mean that you get the new software when it comes out.
But that's what it's supposed to be.
That's the whole point of the Nexus devices. They're connected with Google. You know, you're just like an Apple ecosystem where as soon as it comes out, you can download it, you can have it. But Verizon repeatedly says no.
And back at Google I/O 2 years ago, Google I/O, Google promises stuff and they almost never deliver on what they talk about. But anyway, 2 years ago they were talking about how they're really trying to get the manufacturers to release the new software when it becomes available. But the problem with that is that Google gives the manufacturers the software and then the manufacturers tweak it and then they're really slow.
They put their skin on top of it,
Yeah, all the extra crap that you don't ever need. It's just dumb. I never like with Sense, like HTC. I don't know why they just don't make it a download. Honestly, but anyway, that's besides the point. iPad Mini rumors.
Yeah, what do we got? It's Roundup.
I think I'm going to take that in. Okay, so
Roundup from the Verge.
Oh, come on!
And
I'm not going to hate on it.
We have. Let me introduce this new segment we've got on the show called a Dre Rant.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go.
All right, I'll be back 20 minutes.
Okay, so the screen's going to be 7.85, 4:3 display. Yeah, this is all a roundup of all the rumors, basically. A lot of people have been hearing about the iPad Mini, and we've been seeing a lot of competitors from Amazon and competition from Amazon and Nexus already talking about preempting this device. So now we're looking at like all of the rumors put together in like one major segment, which will be my rant. I guess. And
so
we're looking same lightning connector dock is what we're expecting. Honestly, that's basically what Apple has decided to go with, and that's what probably will be there. Then there's a front and rear cameras, like always, ultra thin design. I think this is something that'll be.
This is just general speculation.
But the prices come up to a boiling point where people say there's obviously going to be between the $200 of the Nexus versus the $400 of the iPad 2. So they're saying that the prices should be within that, will be between those two price points.
There's a good comparison up on the screen right now, just size-wise of between an iPhone, the iPad, and then what this iPad Mini would supposedly be in reference to.
And I would say there's something like the very Apple Fire-esque kind of thing, which is like
Apple Fire-esque.
I know, it's like
Apple Fire-ish.
Apple Fire.
The Apple Fire Kindle HD Nexus S Plus 3.
Well, the idea is basically probably similar design. You're not going to see exactly the same, but I think a lot of people are wondering where that 7-inch tablet is going to lie compared to like the bigger size versus the Note 2, which is a smaller size. So this is again like another in-between thing which falls within that Kindle Fire range. So a lot of people who are wondering what it'll be looking. Yeah, this will be a little bigger than the Kindle Fire, but probably just as thin, maybe thinner, and better operating system than the Kindle Fire, and other better specs which you can expect from Apple.
Too.
Obviously, yeah, the ecosystem is going to be there with the rest of the Apple devices. So you guys already know a lot about that.
Probably won't have like a Retina display or anything.
Yeah, I was talking about how it's going to be a pre-Retina
Retina
display iPhone.
Yeah. Pre-Retina display iPhone? No, I don't. I think it should be better than that.
That's what it says here, I think.
Well, but that's a rumor.
Well, they're going to try and cut costs somehow, and that's.
No, it says here. It's in the
may come with too many compromises. This does not sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at. I doubt
that's
Apple's not going to cut it that
why it's my
low.
section.
But before we get into that, I mean, the Verge's article here, it's all speculation anyway. But it says if the iPad Mini's display really is cut from the same cloth as the iPhone 3GS, which is pre-Retina display, lower quality than any iPad to date.
Well, but that won't be surprising how big a battery you're going to get and how long would you want it to sustain. And that kind of size, with that kind of thinness, you want a battery that'll last probably as much as the Kindle Fire or beat it.
But at what cost? I mean, if you can, you can see and not like it really matters, but you can see the pixels on the iPhone. But when you're blowing it up to the size of like a 7-inch screen,
that's true, but you don't.
You're like quadrupling the size.
I think they should do better than that. You're right. Like they should probably do better than iPhone 3. iPhone 3S. I'm pretty sure, I don't think it's going to be that bad. This is the first time I'm going to support Apple and say, I don't think they're that backward. I don't think they're going to push it back to such an extent that it's going to be as bad.
If they did, though, if they held it back, how would that compare to the other 7-inch-ish monitor, or 7-inch-ish tablets?
Well, the other two tablets, the Kindle Fire HD is 720p probably.
And I heard the iPad, this is rumored to be not as good as that.
That's going to be disappointing.
But you can't compare the Kindle Fire HD to the iPad.
Yeah, because
the Kindle Fire has a bigger screen. Isn't that like 10?
No, 10 Kindle Fire is 7.
No, there's the HD.
Not the HD. Okay, the smaller one has a better. It's supposed to have almost. I don't know the exact specs of the display there, but I think they're still better than what you're talking about of iPhone 3S.
I doubt Apple's going to go with that low of a resolution.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to support Apple for the first time and say that this rumor might actually be wrong, because I don't think they're that going to go back to that display.
And Apple's
you know that wrong? Asus's new Infinity Pad has a 1080 resolution.
How big is it?
It's 10.
It's 10.
It's 10. That's pretty good. Actually.
Higher PPI than.
It's a 10-inch.
Well, if you want to get into that,
10-inch display, 1080 resolution. So
if you want to get into that,
we don't
want to.
That's a point. No, I'm saying
we talked about that last week.
Yeah, Sharp. Last week we talked about Sharp making 5-inch 1080p displays too. So let's not get into that factor, because you have a lot of devices.
They actually made a device. They didn't just make a screen.
Yeah, I mean they basically can make devices like that. I'm saying then what does Apple want to do? What is the trade-off if they get a Retina display in terms of battery? Why are people saying they might not get the Retina display?
Well, the thing here, if you look at it, the smaller iPad it's not the high-end one.
So they want to put it at a lower price point, so people will be more interested in buying the.
All it is a market share. They just want to get the market.
They want all of it.
They want all the market share everywhere.
All of it now.
So this is more like just an introductory device to get people, Apple fanboys, interested in the market.
Bring out the fanboys.
Yep.
Put that word away.
Continuing Apple news. Do we have any update on this lawsuit that Samsung's decided to file against?
Well,
the
Eric,
iPhone
why
5?
do you ask us that since you put up all those articles?
I put this one up.
Who put this
The
one
only
up?
thing-
I put it. I think. Well, no, I didn't. I put up the second one.
Okay, who put the first one?
What's the second one? Is there another infringement?
No,
with Samsung?
the one I put up was that Apple and Google are spending more money on patents than on research and development. I thought that.
That is kind of disappointing.
Well, to a point. I mean, you look. I mean, Apple has been pushing these.
Why can't
rightfully so. Rightfully so. The way that the patent system is, you have to do it because
I'm wondering why people can't just work together. It's so disappointing.
Because of
Just
money.
one company. Just everyone. Just make one.
Yeah, this
Communism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Isn't communism great?
Well,
but you know what? As much as everyone wishes everyone would just get, be friends about the whole thing.
who started this?
You can't pinpoint it. Everyone's been suing everyone forever. I mean, the big one is Apple, obviously, but you can't blame Apple for suing because people copy their stuff.
Well, I agree with that.
Because
I'll agree with that.
the problem right now is if you look at Apple, they come out with the most recent example. They come out with the MacBook Air, and then Intel comes out with the Ultrabook. Apple has Intel is the main pusher behind Ultrabooks.
Yes.
Yeah. So you look at the patent design of Ultrabook or a MacBook Air. It's almost the exact same as an Ultrabook. Most of the Asus Ultrabooks that are out.
Let's put it this way. Yes, that is true. People have copied Apple before, but at the same time, I think it makes Apple stronger, pushes them to create even more products that even if other people copy them, then Apple actually still has a bigger share of the market because they are the original creators.
No,
that's not
I
saying
don't think so.
They lose money, but at the same time, they've always developed more products.
No, see, the way that it should be is that you don't copy because then it's innovation. Innovation is the core aspect of this. If you're copying Apple, then there's no innovation. You're not getting anywhere.
And that is the same reason why Google is now getting further and further away from Apple. Like, you see that happening. I agree it's also because of the lawsuits, but you see it happening. There is separation now.
Well, Google has been separating from Apple because Google got into the phone space. Apple and Google were really close until Android came around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but Android was a big point where they had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in terms of the software of Android and everything included, they are getting, their design is going like in a different area.
Yeah, we cover that.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, you see that, then, it's okay, it's understandable they put a lot of money into patents, but I think R&D is still more important. If you can develop better products, like Apple has been doing, I agree. I will go with Apple with a lot of this to this extent. They put a lot of money into R&D. They develop better products. They developed a great operating system. Make it better. Make it so that other people just can't get to you. And they can do that up to a very large extent.
And Apple's been doing a really good job at that. But the reason why everyone's going so much into R&D or so much into patents is so they can just ignore patents and then they can focus on R&D. Because once they get the patents for it, then they have full control. They can do whatever they want.
But then as soon as they develop something new, they're going to have to spend another couple of months to put the patent out again.
It's a cycle.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. Why can't they just have a new, maybe they should be an improvement of the patent system then to make it easier to do this? Because with the amount of technology coming out, maybe it needs to be done. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not going to become a major...
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that could be said about the patent system. But
yeah, that's way beyond what I know.
Yeah, we are not law students, so we probably
we're going to avoid it.
should avoid that topic. Yeah.
So but because now Samsung is suing Apple over the iPhone 5.
Well, that's because of 4G patents.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that fell through though.
There's a article published. Let's see. This is in Reuters, and this was published back on the 2nd. So this was after that initial lawsuit was announced, and all it says, there's no real reporting done on this. It's a statement by Samsung, and the quote is, "We have little choice but to take the steps necessary to protect our innovations and intellectual property rights." That's Samsung's quote.
Translates into I hate Apple.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They're saying that the iPhone 5 infringed on their patents. This article, I don't know if that 4G thing fell through. All this says is patents. So I don't know if there's going to be something new coming out of this. It's not over, though.
You know, I don't think it's going to be over. I don't know. It'll be over someday, but I don't think it's going to be over anytime soon. It's going to get over when there's a new technology that both of them have to get into, and then both of them might do something different. You know, I think at the end of the day, they'll eventually both bring out their own technology, like Samsung's Note 2 is opening up a new market for them. Hopefully, get them to do better in that space. And then iPad and iPhone is still there. iPhone versus Galaxy S3 will always be there. But I think, you know, they'll start their focus will start going into different areas. And I don't think Apple's going to bring out a tablet just to go against the Note 2, because that's a different space altogether. And I don't.
Apple's been known to delay their entrance in the markets, like with the iPad. Tablet computers were around forever. But anyway, moving on.
Microsoft. Let's get out of this Apple crap.
Yeah. Apple.
Thank you.
Microsoft, let's see, what is this?
Apple.
The point system?
Oh, yeah, I found this.
Yep.
So I was actually really excited about this because if you use Xbox, you're used to the Microsoft Points program, which I'm not sure exactly what the ratio of dollars to points is.
Same as unicorns to leprechauns.
But
you've never seen that episode of The Office.
But I was really excited when I saw this article on Gizmodo, because actually this is a Gizmodo article talking from the Verge. But okay, here it says. So, you know, if you're used to Xbox and you buy goods on the marketplace or whatever, you use Microsoft Points. So you pay for points and then you can buy stuff. And the ratio is 80 points to $1, which is, I mean, that's dumb. But anyway, there was a glimpse of hope that Microsoft was going to get rid of it. But I saw an article about roughly a day later saying that it's just going to be on Windows 8. So Windows 8 is getting rid of the whole Microsoft Points program, and then they're just going to be using like money, so euros, dollars, whatever. But Xbox is going to be still on the points program.
That's going to be, yeah, because that's kind of interesting. Like, if you talk about this in internationally hosted events, like people hosting stuff online usually offer Microsoft points as prizes to the events, is what I've seen in the past. Like, especially forum hosted events and stuff, and I've saw a lot of them for like Halo 3 and, well, Call of Duty and all that, that they would give you Microsoft points with which you can buy games and you can buy movies and I don't know what else. And they would give you the Microsoft points if you could win the event. And they could do that just by sending you like the code, which would, you know, if they're sincere about it, they'll send you a code that works, obviously.
Right.
And so I'm finding that interesting. At least like that, I guess in that way, that's why they will keep it for Xbox, because there's that thing of no issue with dollars and no issue with conversion rates between euros and dollars and between like pounds and dollars or whatever.
See, I just never understood the Microsoft points. I mean, basically what you're doing is buying a Microsoft gift card.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But I don't see why they have to use these points.
Steam
That's
uses
true.
money, right? You can buy Steam cards, but that's actual dollars.
But the conversion rate in Steam always goes to dollars, doesn't it? I don't think there's.
I don't think you can buy
euros.
Steam points, can you?
No, there are no Steam points. I'm basically asking like all the conversions. Like if you're buying in Europe, then the euros get translated into dollars.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I'm kind of interested in that because like if you talk about a lot of these big companies like Steam, Valve in this case does host internationally, so all the games are available through the world. So how do they handle all the conversion rates? Because everybody has their own thing.
It's probably just do whatever their payment system is.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that works.
Yeah, but anyway, that was just something I thought that was interesting, and it'll be on Windows 8. So I guess depending on the success of that, they might do it on the Xbox. So
Hunger Games rating is 12. Now I'm like, is that supposed to be 12 out of 10?
Oh, on the Xbox slide?
Yeah, I don't know what the rating in this case
Anyway, I think is that all we had for the rundown? Is that all we had? That's it?
That's it?
That's all we had?
Been 1.5 hours.
Yeah, we're going long. I actually have to cut out music in this one because, you know, we'll test it out. We'll test out YouTube's new. No, I better not do that.
You better not.
What music did you put?
It was whatever was playing during the break, Aerosmith. We will be back next week. I don't know if it'll be this long again. Depends on what we got.
We can take a break, fall break, but I'll be around.
What do we do it on Tuesday? Oh yeah.
Still fall break.
Still fall break.
We don't have school on Tuesday.
Yeah. And I'll be around. Jake's the only one who's not going to be around next week, basically.
If all three of us, I don't know if I'll be here. If us three are here, we'll probably. I don't know if we can get in here. We may be here with the show next week. We may not be. We do that a lot.
No promises.
We don't technically have to be for us for radio because I know we don't have to be here, but we'll see what happens.
So wait, can he be here and you not be here now? Or is it his like?
I think we both have to. I think you could still get points if you're here, but I would miss out on my points. We had to do a Radio 1 class, so we're just using this as a Radio 1 class anyway to get points easy. So anyway, this
beside the point.
No,
beside the point. We are ending now.
Okay. No, I want to end. I want to. This is conversation after the end. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So bye.
This has been KV and 90.7 H-2 Mav Radio. We will see you next week, possibly. Otherwise, the week after that, our shows are on YouTube, T3 Podcast, youtube.com/T3 Podcast. That's going to do it for this week. We will see you in a bit on the Tier 3 Podcast. Thanks for listening, guys.